Hello collectors, welcome to Collection TV Theories. Today we are going to be discussing the truth of why Doc Hudson was fired from the Piston Cup and how Smokey had a role in the decision to remove Hud from the track. But first, please be aware that this video will contain spoilers and major plot details of Cars 3. All of these images in this video are either from Cars 1, a Google image, The Art of Cars 3, or a Cars 3 trailer. Ever since Cars 3 came out, I have been curious as to what really happened to Doc Hudson after his 1954 crash. For those who haven't seen Cars, Doc was the doctor, judge, and racing expert who keeps his racing life a secret from all of his friends, and has a hatred for Lightning McQueen. Doc appears to dislike McQueen because he reminds Doc of his younger self. When McQueen first found his way into Radiator Springs, Doc ordered him to fix the road. After a curious McQueen discovered that Doc Hudson was the fabulous Hudson Hornet, Doc finally revealed what happened to him after he has a career-ending crash. In 1954, the fabulous Hudson Hornet had almost won his 4th Piston Cup when he had an almost deadly crash. After he was repaired, Doc went to the Piston Cup only to find out he had been replaced by a new rookie. Because of this, he turns his back on racing and isolates to Radiator Springs. After finally getting Lightning McQueen out of town, Doc finally realizes the errors of his ways and becomes Lightning McQueen's crew chief at the Los Angeles International Speedway. Doc was voiced by the late Hollywood actor Paul Newman. Paul Newman sadly passed away in 2008, and so did Doc Hudson as a result. That being said, Pixar did use some pre-archived records of Paul Newman's voice that they did not use for Cars 1 to voice him in Cars 3. In Cars 3, Doc Hudson is still dead, of course, but we do see some images of him being Lightning McQueen's crew chief, which proves that he stayed his crew chief until his death in 2009. We also learned that Doc Hudson used to live in Thomasville, and he had a crew chief and mentor named Smokey. Later on in the film, we see Lightning McQueen and Cruz Ramirez go to Thomasville, Georgia, and they race around the old track where Doc used to race. On accident, they run into all of Doc's old friends. There are actually 4 of them. They are Smokey, Louise Barnstormer Nash, River Scott, and Junior Moon. They say that he was at the top of his game until a new rookie showed up. Much like Jackson Storm, Doc had to start doing dangerous stunts to win the races, and this may have also caused his crash in 1954. In the storyteller's book Banged Up, we learn a little bit more about Doc Hudson's backstory, but nothing too significant. Looking at the Art of Cars 3 book, I did find some possible evidence to a theory of who may have fired Doc Hudson in the storyteller's book and in the movies. In the Art of Cars 3 book, there is an unnamed scene that appears to be deleted because nothing similar to this appears in the movie. It shows Smokey telling McQueen a story, and it's like a flashback to Doc, and it's like raining. Doc is like angry at Smokey apparently, and Smokey's kind of like shocked about it, and Doc appears to basically leave after that. And the fact that it's raining also makes me feel like he's being fired. And here you can see that there's a pretty big scratch mark on the side of him, and I think that that means that he's being repaired after his crash, and that also explains when he's being fired. And I was like, why would Smokey do this? Because they appear to be really good friends. But let's think a minute. Of course, Smokey is based off of Smokey Yunick, who was a mechanic in NASCAR history. He owned a mechanic shop that was a sponsor in NASCAR. And hey, we never did find out what Doc Hudson's sponsor was. The only thing that might be a sponsor is Twin H Power, but of course that's just the engine that Hudson Hornets had. So I think that maybe Smokey's Garage is Doc's sponsor. And I mean, after all, Smokey's bio in the Meet the Cars book says that he is Doc's Piston Cup team owner. And of course, Lightning McQueen's team owner is Sterling, which is the car that almost fired him. And I'm definitely confused as to why Smokey would do that, but maybe it's because after Doc's crash, the rookies started becoming so fast that Smokey had like no other choice but to hire one, and after Hud found out, he got really angry about it. I mean, why else would Hud just leave all 4 of his friends like that? And in Cars 3, Smokey kind of acts dumb when McQueen and Cruz first meet him. He thinks that they're there for a drink. Maybe he was just playing dumb because he thought that they would be angry at him over what happened years ago. Don't worry though, because there is still a happy ending. After the events of Cars 1, Doc got back in contact with Smokey and maybe apologized for what happened in the past, and they made up. And we of course did find out that Doc had a better time being McQueen's crew chief than ever racing, which was definitely one of the most emotional points of the film. And Doc probably just never told McQueen about what happened between him and Smokey so many years ago. And there's such a special bond between Lightning McQueen and Doc Hudson, and now adding Cruz Ramirez and Smokey to the mix. Please tell me in the comment section below what you thought of this theory. I actually think it fits together really well. Maybe there's even more to this story that we don't already know about. If you have any more information, please also let me know in the comment section below. Well, thank you guys so much for watching this video. Please subscribe to our channel for more frequent Cars content. I'm Henry Motorcoop, and we'll see you guys next time.